Welcome back to Master of Command, Cantonist Levies campaign. Alright guys, last time we left off, we're nearly done with Act 3 for the Cantonist Levies. HQ attacks on day 163. We're on day 158. That gives us basically, not even basically, it is 5 days. Jena, 2 battlefields, Herd, and that's basically it. We will end up fighting the first headquarters, and then we'll be preparing to fight the second one. Let's head over to the Herd. 59, 60, 61. Alright, deer in the field. Let's do the hides. Fantastic. And we're going to go to Jena. Let's do that. 62. Gunsmith. I don't really want new stack carbines. Ugh. Not excited about them, really. Powder house, perhaps. Buckshot rounds. Okay. We still need some buckshot rounds for our cavalry. Do we have it on every cavalry unit? Yeah, we need one more. Okay, perfect. Town square. Excellent quality Bibles. Do we need coffee? We have coffee there. Coffee. Alright. We do need excellent Bibles, though, but not the coffee. Fantastic. Quartermaster. Gun picks. I believe we have basket hilt hangers already for all of our grenadiers. Excellent. Full gators. Do we have full gators? We do not, but we will be getting that. Alright. Excellent. Looks good. Staff College. I think we already have all the treatises that we need. Pretty much. We could use more holiday and other artillery related treatises. But let's see what they got. Don't need that anymore. We might could use another one. Let's see. Charge. Don't need drill masters. I wonder how effective the regimental staff engineers would be for our carbine equipped troops. That might be very effective. I think that's something I want to try out to see how that does. So we have excellent picks on everybody. We don't. We are getting closer by the day. Excellent. Alright. That should be fine. Excellent Bibles. Do we have that for all our cavalry? Yes, we do. Excellent. Excellent. Good. Good. Okay, those are basic Bibles. Alright. Now, right now, they have a range of 109 for the Potsdams. That brings them up to a 125. That ain't bad. Honestly, that ain't bad at all. I like that quite a bit. Very, very much so. Put this on them. Oh, they have an axe already. Okay. They already have the treatise, so I'd have to keep the treatise here. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Let's charge 12. 12. That's the veterancy gain. That's charged with 10, but with move speed. I kind of like the 10 and move speed better, honestly. But I'm glad to have that for them now. Artillery. Holiday, we'll keep holiday. We'll upgrade that one. Okay. And holiday. So I guess we didn't need that. That's okay, though. It's not a big deal. I'll throw that on there. They'll do better in battle. We can sell the rest. Shouldn't be an issue. Won't need that either. Alright. Excellent. Okay, so I think the play now is to drill to gain veterancy. We will be able to. I think we should be able to get the battlefields after the second headquarters comes after us, but I suppose we can head down here after it. Ah, yes. Enemy headquarters in pursuit. General, our scouts report the enemy headquarters has mustered its full army and is marching to engage us. Columns move on the main road with advanced guards out. Expect contact within days. We cannot outrun them. We must face them. Alright. Many reservists. Assault succeeded. Excellent. Soul carbines. Alright. We got Potsdams there. Souls. There we go. These are all Tulas. Okay. Neat. See if we can get this battlefield real quick. They're kind of stuck there for a moment. Aha, mass grave. Yeah, let's not. We're not doing nothing with that. Alright, and we're going to drill till they get here, which once they get free of that, it should be pretty quick. We'll have to see how much we get from drilling. Alright, we'll take a look at their army real quick. Let me see my veterancy for my troops here. That's all looking excellent. Yes. I can take that off of there now. Yeah, they're all converged. Yes. 7, 6, 5. And Von Wied does not have much actual ranks yet, but they are converged, so that is good news. Cavalry is doing very good. Artillery is not doing too bad. Grenadiers need a little more to become veterans. But, okay, yeah, and the Bevern Infantry needs some more to be lifeguards. But, other than that, our guys are solid, man. This is good stuff. Very pleased with that. Alright, let's see what they have. So, we are fighting an enemy force that has 3 Imperial Field Artillery and 1 Saxon Veteran Artillery. Total of 4 artillery. They have 2 Imperial Cuirassiers, Imperial Dragoons, Imperial Hussars, and the Württemberger Horse Grenadiers. Total of 5 enemy cavalry. Bavarian Veteran Musketeers here. A total of 5 of those now. Palatine Grenadiers to the token of 2. 2 Palatine Veteran Musketeers. Saxon Life Grenadier Guards. Saxon Grenadiers, Saxon Veteran Musketeers. Württemberger Grenadiers, and 2 Württemberger Feldjägers. This looks like a very tough army. They have several units that are rank 8 or 9. They got rank 7s. There's only 4 units here that are 6s. The rest are 7 through 9. Wow. This could be tough. This could be tough. See how we do here, boys. See how we do. And because we have the most difficulty modifier in the entire game, to give the enemy 10% extra combat effectiveness, yikes. Their units are going to be very dangerous. We do have a river. That is an excellent thing that we can utilize to our advantage should we do so intelligently. Excuse me. I do apologize. There was a ton of pollen in the air before the storms we're having today. Pollen everywhere. Kind of messed with everybody's sinus situations as well, once again. Alright. Wow. Ooh. For Grenadiers, these guys have 72 charge and 81 melee, but also 98 accuracy at 138 range. These Grenadier guards, wow. So they're Grenadier heavy on this flank. Grenadiers in the center, dispersed between the veteran musketeers. Excellent. 102 accuracy for these Bavarian veteran musketeers with land patterns. Yikes. What about the Feldjägers? 136 accuracy with excellent Jaeger rifles at a range of 172. Yikes. Okay, how about cavalry? Ooh. 81 101 accuracy of 79. 38 88 65 62 82 21. Okay. So their other cavalry is not super impressive, but those Grenadier guards, well, they're basically guards. Horse Grenadiers. Oh wow, those guys are tough. Let's check out their artillery. 85 accuracy for bronze guns, 53 iron, 67 iron, and 52 bronze. All right. That's a really tough army right there ahead of us. That's a really tough army. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to put our infantry over here with the guns. Because we're closer to the river line over here, which is good for their shorter range weaponry. Excuse me. And likewise, the Fusiliers are going to be here guarding the more rightward flank. I'm going to keep the Grenadiers sparse throughout the ranks, kind of best as I can. I do not want to be having sections that don't have Grenadier support. The thing about the cavalry is, do we want them on the flank to come around the enemy rear and go after the guns? Or do we use them in a supporting role with the main line? I think we have to use them in a supporting role, because we're outnumbered with cavalry, and I'm not confident in whatever unit the Horse Grenadiers attacks surviving the engagement, even if we do win. So I think the lesser evil there is to eat their gunfire from their artillery and hold the line solid, because they have a lot of melee threats as well. So I think we're going to do that. Alright, we need the artillery to set up immediately. Oh yes, very rapidly. Excellent. Moving up the infantry. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I set it up in reverse. That's why it looks so funny. I'll move the Grenadiers here in a moment, in addition to the cavalry, since they have better speed anyway. Artillery is nearly in position. Excellent. Alright. Fantastic. Taking the hill will definitely help us with our accuracy, especially against enemies that have such high accuracy themselves. Yikes. Alright, we do have the whole line here pretty much covered, which is excellent. Okay, set up the grenadiers here. Here. Beside the guns. And here. Alright, excellent. And then we will move the cavalry up to support them as well. Our guns are going to be targeting these horse grenadiers, there's no doubt about that. Trying to demolish them as quickly as possible. I am not too hip on the idea of the horse grenadiers smashing through our lines. Not excited about that prospect at all. Alright. That should be a good dispersal of our cavalry and grenadiers across the line. Have to see how this goes. I appreciate the reload speed of our guns. We have already half destroyed their horse grenadier unit. That's very good. So we're going to move on to the cuirassiers next. Be ready. We got to be ready with our cavalry in the event we get an opportunity to rush up and take out their light troops. Let's not forget to turn on our special ammo for the cavalry. So when we countercharge something, we will just decimate them. The main concern I have with enemy artillery is hitting our grenadier lines. I really don't want that. We have our Jaeger rifles on the flanks. It's not too bad. See their lights. I'd really rather them get across the river real quick before we charge them with the cavalry. Alright, we're going in. Gonna do the daring charge of daring do. Alright, I better send I don't have a lot to send in to support them. The guns are firing though at the cavalry, which is good. Alright, boys. Well, I may need you to come over here and support them real quick. Come on, boys, I need you to get back. I need you to finish them off quickly. We are nearly engaged with enemy forces, and that would be a problem. Alright, retreat. Come on, quickly now. Get over the river. I know it's a tall ask, but you've done well. Taking out the Feldjägers saved many, many lives. Huge number of troops' lives were saved. And the excellent thing about this range, I think the regimental staff engineer works out brilliantly with these carbines. Having the ability to reach out to 124 with these carbines at the reload speed of 10 seconds, these guys are going to be able to demolish enemy forces oncoming to our ranks. That's going to be brilliant. Alright, we will switch the artillery fire to the other Imperial cuirassiers. Continue firing on down the line. Excellent. Moving the cavalry back into position. Excellent. Our fire is doing an excellent job at crushing the enemy's morale. Fantastic. Yes, their front line is beginning to fail. We do have to watch for any charges, however, that could be a problem. Just a bit of a problem, of course. Our artillery is firing away at the cuirassiers. Excellent. The enemy has been repulsed there on the right flank. We are going to have to fold the flank a little here, as they are trying to flank around us. Hold on. These are veteran musketeers, 8168. We're going to send in the grenadiers. We're not going to fold the line. Actually, we are going to fold it, but we're going to fold it in the other way. The grenadiers will head over to this position, and we'll have the cavalry support them. They're going to push the flankers out of their positions. Excellent volleys, although those grenadiers have tons and tons of morale. So that's a thing. Imperial Hussars are on the approach. We're going to shift the grenadiers over some and set up the cavalry to prepare. Ooh, ouch. They're actually targeting the dragoons behind our lines there. That's not great. It looks like their hussars may be ready for a charge. Yeah, they are. Okay. Alright, charging them with the cavalry. Ouch, our cavalry just took a heavy hit there. They're retreating. Don't shatter, boys. Don't shatter. Alright, we broke them. Now we need to recall our troops here. That was rough. Not ideal, but as long as we can keep them from shattering, that's the key there. I say that, and they shatter just a moment later. I wonder what was firing at them to cause them to shatter. Artillery. Okay, so apparently, one thing we've noticed through this campaign playthrough, the AI loves to target broken units with artillery to shatter them. That has been a real problem for us. Because just when I think a unit has gotten away and they're fine, the artillery will shatter our unit. That's a rough one, man. That's bad. That's really bad. Okay, hopefully we do not lose the Freihussaren von Skåne. That would be a problem. That wouldn't even be a problem. That would be catastrophic, to be honest. Okay, get back, dudes. We don't need you getting hammered by the enemy right there. Let's make sure we're not getting charged over here. Excellent. We're firing on their cavalry. Their cuirassiers are back. That's not great. Come on, Fusiliers. There you go. Alright. Move the cavalry back. They're about to get shot, but our grenadiers are going to get across. And they are not going to win that melee engagement with our grenadiers. That is for certain. Alright. Grenadier guards are trying to figure out what they want to do exactly. Ooh, we did not notice the dragoons coming up on us. That's not great. Let's swap over to melee. Okay. Do battle with them. Hopefully the Fusiliers will be able to hold off the enemy. Grenadiers are helping in the assault. Excellent. Move the general over here. There's a lot going on over here. Excellent. We have repulsed them successfully. We do need our troops to get back in line, however. That's okay. We're going to keep the grenadiers moving up. Charging the enemy, doing some massive damage to them. Excellent. Alright, we're going to fold the line yet once more. Bring them up here to watch the flank. Yeah, fire on the Grenadier Guards over here to lighten the load on our left flank. Okay, we're going to get ready to charge these veteran musketeers here with the Grenadiers. Gonna move up our cavalry as well. Alright. Excellent. Cavalry have one out now. Sending them across with the grenadiers. I'm going to get ready to take out their artillery, which will be immensely helpful to us. Excellent. We are offering fantastic levels of fire to the enemy. Alright. We are now preparing to cross. Going to move the line up somewhat further. Alright. We're actually just going to move these units here to cover that flank now. We have grenadiers approaching the units that are returning to the battle. So that is good news. Fantastic. Now we can fire on the Grenadier Guards. Focus primarily on that. Crossing the river is when we're most vulnerable. Alright. Mostly have to watch the remaining cavalry. Make sure they don't charge our Grenadiers or something. Alright, hold fire, men. Their cavalry is approaching. Excellent. Blow them away, boys. Excellent. Alright, approaching the enemy. Let's shift our fire again to the cuirassiers so we can help our cavalry and grenadiers in the center. I think we've sufficiently damaged the Grenadier Guard. In fact, you know what? We're not going to play any games with the Grenadier Guards no more. I'm going to send them off with a bang. Our Grenadiers are going to charge their lines. Move the Grenadiers up. Alright, Grenadiers are still moving up. Come over here, General. Excellent. And we have totally ruined the Grenadier Guards. Fantastic. Excellent. We crushed their artillery units. Bring the Grenadiers back. Excellent. Make sure some of these units just don't return to the fight. They're getting shot at, but we're going to charge them good. They're going to volley off, but they're going to get crushed. Absolutely decimated is what's going to happen. Yep. Alright, now we're getting shot in the flank. Charging them. And running them off again. Excellent. Alright, let's see. You boys, just move up here or something and get ready to finish them off. Unlimber the artillery. Cavalry will withdraw to our line. Grenadiers will withdraw to the line. Grenadiers will also withdraw to our line. Excellent. One remaining unit. And that's it. There we are. Hopefully we don't lose our cavalry. That would be... Oh, that would suck. I was hoping to use the veterancy and provisions option. Namely the exchange. But I think because of the cavalry situation, I have to use the conscript, so that way we have a better chance they don't just die. So let's see the situation here. 144 for this Imperial Field Artillery, 279 for them, 151 for the Saxon, and only 14 for these Imperial Field Artillery. So I'd say our play to hold our troops behind the line actually paid off better than trying to hunt that artillery would have done. Veteran Bavarian Musketeers, 261, 123 Imperial Sars, Imperial Dragoons, 111, only 7 for the Cuirassiers and 19 for the other Cuirassiers. And of course the Württemberger Horse Grenadiers only got 5. 14 Württemberger Grenadiers, 38 for the Feldjägers, 0 for the other Feldjägers, 8 for the Grenadier Guards, only 8 kills. Disgraceful. The rest of their units didn't fare too good. 2 of the Bavarian Veteran Musketeers got 115 and 146, but that didn't go very well for them. Our cavalry barely survived. I'm confident they only survived because we chose conscript. I'm very confident that's the only reason that's the case. Yeah, I think we would have lost them otherwise. Excellent. They're gaining some ranks, which is awesome. It's going to increase their abilities. Very, very good. Super pleased with that. Alright, we got... No, land pattern. Sorry, we don't need that. Buckshot. That's 35 accuracy. What are all these? Let's see. 35, 35, 35. Only 30, so let's go ahead and make that the buckshot. Yeah. Alright. Let's see here. Reinforcements. General, although the enemy's headquarters has fallen, their resolve has not. A fresh host has marched into the region, swift and determined to reclaim what was lost. They will begin their pursuit in a matter of weeks. There will be no respite until this new army is broken. Rally the men, keep discipline in the ranks, and prepare for one last trial. Victory here will silence all opposition and bring the campaign to its rightful end. Alright, there's the enemy headquarters. We've been given a small, by small I mean very small, amount of time before they attack. We're on 168, they will attack on 181. So, we will be here in the same position, drilling. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to sit here drilling. Get XP. It's going to level up the men. Increase their ranks. Prepare them for the battle. Our recovery is maxed, so we don't need to be concerned about replenishment. It's going up. It's doing excellently. Awesome. Some of these units should be fairly close to ranking up. Excellent. Wow. Alright. Winter is coming. General, winter is a month off and the first snowfall is expected. Your army will travel slower, visibility will be limited, and food consumption will increase. Store sufficient provisions and prepare for hardship. Waiting out the season is not an option. We must secure the region before we can go into winter quarters. Alright, let's check our units here. Excellent. Lifeguards. Phenomenal. Just what we wanted. Okay. Grenadiers are nearly there, man. Nearly there. Alright, otherwise those are the only ones we need to rank up. Here comes the enemy headquarters about to attack us. Yep, there's the notification. We can hear them. We can hear them coming after us. They're angry. They're coming up the road. Alright, I believe that is it. That's the last part we're going to get from that. Grenadiers didn't quite rank up, but they're nearly there. Nearly. Which is fine. Alright. So, let me make another save here just so I can... what I forgot to do is I need to save some of these customizations that I did here for the units for future playthroughs. So, definitely something I want to do. Okay, that's being kind of funny. I'm not sure why I can't change the names and stuff right now. I'm sure I'll be able to figure that out. Okay. That's pretty funny. Alright. Not sure what happened, but apparently somehow the interface broke. Alright. Okay, either way, let's do this battle. They have 19,300 to our 19,600. See what they got. Second Battle of Jena. Alright. They have 4 batteries of artillery. Austrian veterans. Austrian field, 2 Netherlander field. Okay. Let's see how much cavalry they got. It looks like they have 6 cavalry. The Alt Modena Cuirassiers, the Kaiser Franz Hussars, Imperial Cuirassiers, Imperial Dragoons, Saxon Cuirassiers, Saxon Veteran, Chevalier. All of this cavalry is dangerous, extremely dangerous. We have some Netherlander Veteran Fusiliers, Württemberger Feldjägers, Württemberger Grenadiers, Grenzer Sharpshooters, that's a huge problem. Grenzer Grenadiers, Grenzer Veteran Fusiliers, Hungarian Veteran Grenadiers, Hungarian Veteran Fusiliers, Austrian Grenadiers, and Austrian Veteran Fusiliers. All right. That's a tough group of enemies right here. Huge amounts of accuracy against us. They have similar firepower in the heavy guns. They have way more cavalry than we do. Particularly, they heavily outrange us. So let's go see how we do for the final battle of the Cantonist Levies campaign. See how we do. Hopefully the terrain is favorable. We really need some cover against their superior firepower. The artillery is going to have to work overtime targeting their guns. Okay. They actually have the superior terrain, in my humble opinion. Yeah, because they can use these hills against us if we try to use this town like we usually do. We could stand over here where they'll be in the open, but we will likewise be in the open. I think the other best bet is to rush over here and take the wood line and hills and kind of force the battle into this section. I think that's the play. It would also, I believe, catch them off guard. I believe it would catch them off guard immensely. Alright, got the Grenadiers at the ready. Fusiliers, remove the bayonets. You know what, hold on. Bayonets, it does how much accuracy? Like 3 accuracy, it looks like. I might leave the bayonets on just because I do not want them getting hit by a cavalry charge I don't notice in time and having the line just shatter. That would be like the worst possibility of all. Okay. We're going to rush our army over here as quickly as can be and set up on their flank. If we can actually engage and destroy a section of their flank, that would be brilliant. This could be the defining moment of the campaign, which, how fitting would that be to have that happen in the final battle? Alright. Artillery move up to this hill. I think we're going to set them up on the hill is what we're going to do. Alright. Let's go, boys. This is where fast-moving troops is extremely useful. Very, very important. Try to leave their unit. We might put our artillery up here. Can we fit all the artillery up here? I'm not sure. That's kind of fun. Maybe we'll put the artillery. Ooh. Maybe that's the play. We rush up here, catch them totally off guard, and set up the artillery there on that hill. That'd be funny. Oh, that'd be really funny. Because they wouldn't know what to do with setting up their line right there. We could catch them off guard. Their artillery might begin to open up on us already. Considering I'm certain we're in their range now. Let me set up some of the Fusiliers here on the left flank just to be sure that we're covered. And I will set some Grenadiers here to help them. Otherwise, we're going to keep moving. Excellent. I'm really convinced they don't know what to do about this situation at the moment. Let's see, This is grenadiers. We could just smash into their line right now. Send the cavalry over here to prepare engaging the enemy. This is a pretty daring gambit. Very daring indeed. I think we're still going to kind of set up on this hill just because we need the artillery firing now. Oof, we took some damage to our musketeers already. Which, you know, not the greatest thing per se, but we'll be alright. I want the line to connect so they can't shoot through to our units. And the grenadiers will be supporting them behind. Those grenadiers are attacking already. Let's set up our grenadiers here across the force. Get the general up here on the double time. Yep, their cavalry is going to try to attack my grenadiers. We'll see what happens. Yeah, my grenadiers are taking hit right now. It's not great. Okay, I believe we got their Feldjägers, which is excellent. Those guys are in too good of a spot, though, with support for us to take them down. Ouch. Of course, it was the veteran Chevalier. That would be such a problem. Us hitting them in that flank, though, is going to be very, very good. 2 musketeers going around the side. Artillery's at the ready, unlimbering. But see, we've caught them where half their army is over here trickling to the same locations on the map. That's going to be rough for them to do anything about. I'm going to move the Fusiliers back down here, though. We're running out of space over here. And our musketeers can handle that area much easier. Cavalry will move up on the flank with our grenadiers. Gonna move the grenadiers up to attack as well. We're gonna push our advantage as well as we can. Artillery firing on them. No, I want the artillery to fire. Where's they at? Where's they at? Where are they at? Okay, they're in the back actually, so we're not gonna do that. Hit the Imperial Dragoons, guys. That's your next target. Excellent. Grenadiers. Ooh, yikes. Their morale is dropping like crazy. Have to support the Grenadiers there. Excellent. Excellent. Come on, Grenadiers. Hold on a little longer. You can get it. You can get it. Alright, engage them together. Excellent. General, we need you over there. Alright, doing well. Grenadiers, that's the Grenzer sharpshooters. Yeah, we need to take them out immediately. Their Grenadiers are almost finished. Alright, we need to pull them back. They are hurt. The cavalry here, though, needs to support the rest of the cavalry. We have more Grenadiers moving into battle. We're pushing our advantage. Excellent. We got the Grenadiers, took out the sharpshooters. It looks like they massacred the entire unit. That is crazy. That is hilarious. Okay. Cavalry's taken some casualties. Moving them up. Alright, the enemy's just been smashed into a pulp. Moving forward through their grenadiers. Excellent. We got our musketeers. They're going to get ready to set up here by this hill in this field. Wow, this is working out very nicely so far. Excellent. Hitting them very, very hard. Oof. Yikes. Our grenadiers are getting hurt very, very badly. We need to retreat them. Get back, boys. Get back. General, come to the center where our grenadiers are pushing through the enemy. Take out the enemy guns, boys. Where's the dragoon? There's the dragoons. Okay, good. Excellent. Keep the cavalry together. We're smashing their guns. Wow, this is actually working out quite nicely. We are ramming it down their throats with the attack. We're not giving them much of a chance to do anything. Which is exactly the way I like it. I don't want them to have a chance to react to anything if possible. Alright, some of our cavalry has returned to the battle. It's very, very good. Alright, pull our grenadiers back. They are doing excellent, excellent work. Alright. Taking out more of their artillery, which is essential. We just have to be mindful of their cavalry. Could be a problem. Who else is charging? Okay. We're good for now. The grenadiers are still fighting there in the center. Slaughtering their guns. That's excellent. Where's our artillery fire? I don't want them firing there. Fire at the dragoons, boys. Ah, okay. Their dragoons are getting ready to head in here and deal with the problem, so to speak. I just don't want their heavy cavalry approaching. Would be a bit of a problem. Musketeers are going to move up and occupy the woods here, and we're going to support them with the grenadiers up here. Excellent, excellent. We got more Fusiliers heading back to the other side of the line. There we go. Didn't mean to adjust their column too much there. I can move these grenadiers up so they can be ready, but we really don't want them engaging the enemy too hard right now. That is doing a ton of damage to them. That's excellent. Alright, charging them together. That buckshot's making a lot of difference on equalizing the carbine battles that we've been losing pretty badly so far. Excellent. Wow. What a climactic battle. We rushed ahead and destroyed like half of their army up here, just assaulting them devastatingly. This the Grenzer sharpshooters here that died, that was so hilarious. The grenadiers like tapped them and they all just fell dead. That was really funny. Super funny. Alright, we need to move the rest of the musketeers, they're actually listed as infanterie, but our carbine troops, we need to move them up. Support them, of course, with the grenadiers. And I'm going to move the general over here for now because they're facing the brunt of the action. Our cavalry's doing okay, but I want them to come back over and support the line. In fact, I think the grenadiers should head here and support this section while the cavalry comes over to support the muskets. What are they doing? It looks like they're preparing to, okay. Alright. Let's attack the Grenadiers, guys. Yeah, they're charging. Okay, it figured that they're charging. Charge them back. Intercept, boys. Alright, we'll see what happens. They're going to make it to that line, but our Grenadiers should make all the difference. Should absolutely massacre these guys. Okay, their cavalry is getting ready to come up here, presumably to assault our line as well. Yep. Grenadiers, get ready to move up. Cavalry, let's move up here as well. Musketeers, time to move up. General, move up so the line will hold. We really need to make sure that those men hold their ground. The Fusiliers. Yikes. Those cuirassiers, they can be very, very dangerous. We'll send their fellow Fusiliers up to help them potentially push back the enemy. Excellent. It's a bit of a struggle, but we're working on it. The artillery needs to move up in support of our troops, I think. They're a little far. Benefit to horse artillery is that shouldn't be a big issue for them. Not really. Ooh, okay, the cavalry is very tired. Reposition them somewhat. Oops. Let's set them up like so. These aren't grenadiers, but even our infantry should be good in melee from the rear and flank of the enemy. We're bringing the Grenadiers over here so we'll be better ready for any kind of melee attacks or cavalry attacks. Ouch. Yep, they did break our first set of Fusiliers. Thankfully, they don't have artillery to snipe our troops and get them all jacked up. Cuirassiers are retreating. Our artillery is moving up quite nicely. Soon they'll be in a good spot to do something. General, let's come over here and rally these Fusiliers, I think. I think that'd be excellent to do that. I'd really like it if the guns could decimate their remaining troops, because the problem we have here, their two remaining cavalry units are their two best. Kaiser Franz Hussars, 106 charge, 106 melee. Wow. And they do have quartered musket balls. Alt Modena cavalry, buckshot rounds, 115 accuracy. That would melt one of our cavalry units in one volley. 62 charge, 110 melee. Yikes. Okay. Let's see here. We got these guys. These are the ones right here, so I'm going to spread them out real quick. I'm going to make sure they're in like facing. And these guys, I'm going to spread across the line here as well. Okay. Move up our infantry like so. Set up the grenadiers here. We have grenadiers on the left flank and cavalry on the right flank to help cover against, you know what, let's go hit these cuirassiers. I do not want them coming back and hitting our artillery. That would be an immense problem. Okay, these guys come back, but they're like sitting in the middle of our line. Let's change that. Let's change that. Okay, they're about to get flanked. I need to adjust where they're going to be sitting at. Okay, let's see if I can actually see where my lines are. That would help. Okay. Excellent. All right. Very, very good. Very, very good. Oh, yeah, see, they are coming back. Do they have... They don't. We should win this engagement, I hope. Okay, what is the artillery fire? No, I want you to fire at the cavalry. Desperately need you to fire at the cavalry. Desperately. No, don't charge that. What are you doing? Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Alright, we're going to move up the infantry. Keep the cavalry behind here so we have something doing. Excellent. Where's the general at? Okay, good. He's right here. That's where I need him. Need them to move to the flank. Excellent. Teaming up on the cavalry together. Fantastic. Okay. Artillery, you just keep focus firing down their cavalry. That's brilliant. See, I'm super excited to have horse batteries because they got up here from this hill very quickly. Not a lot of time has actually passed since they actually made that move. I'm going to shorten the line. I don't want them to suffer too much under an enemy attack. Okay, I feel like the enemy grenadiers are getting ready to charge. And I feel that way because they are. Okay, the enemy cavalry is making their move now. That's not great. Infantry, charge. Cavalry, charge. Okay, every grenadier that's not this unit here, be prepared to attack the cavalry here. Yikes. Okay, that's not great. Alright. Grenadiers on cavalry. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but, General, we need you over here. Cavalry, you have got to get the frick over here immediately. Like, post-haste. Ooh, those grenadiers are taking damage. My grenadier boys are tough. Tough grenadiers. General, hurry. Get in there, General. Save the boys. Come on, General. Excellent. We broke them. That is fantastic. We run off the enemy. Alright, now get over here and help these boys. Oh, you're still in the middle of a charge. Okay. Well, I suppose you can't do that then. Come on, boys. Yes, the artillery made the day. They just routed the enemy cavalry. That's brilliant. Infantry are charging the enemy, making all the difference. Trying to withdraw my cap. Oh, and they just routed. That was it. That was the battle, guys. That was awesome. That might have been the coolest battle of the entire campaign. That was phenomenal. That rush to the flank and just rolling over this whole side of their army. Got a Brummer. gun picks, excellent. Clearac, excellent. Sul muskets, cavalry lance. Wow, we got some of the best loot from this battle too, of course. Let's look at their artillery, shall we? 175 for the Austrian veterans. 234 for the field artillery. However, their Netherlander artillery got diddly. Under 100 apiece because we rushed them so hard. Netherlander veterans, like 6. Now their cavalry got quite a few kills. The Chevalier, 293. 180 for the Cuirassier. Only 42 for the Imperial Dragoons, but 578 for the other Cuirassiers, the Imperial Cuirassiers. 0 for the Württemberger Feldjägers, only 79 for the other. 268 Württemberger Grenadiers, 262 Württemberger Grenadiers. Grenzer's sharpshooters we kept to nothing. 0 and 91. Likewise, the Grenzer Grenadiers and Veteran Fusiliers didn't get much. The Grenzer Grenadiers barely got past 100. Kaiser Franz Hussars got over 300. 434 Hungarian Veteran Grenadiers. 350 Hungarian Veteran Fusiliers. 225 Alt Modena Cuirassiers. 278 Austrian Grenadiers. 302 Austrian Veteran Fusiliers. And 173 for the Austrian Veteran Fusiliers. So, as you can see, they still killed 4760 of our men, even with how we shut them down. The units that were able to rally, they still did that much damage. If we would have sat there line to line, trading blows, we could have taken many more casualties. The way it stands, that was excellent. All right. I'm going to go ahead and finish this section here. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. All right. That's funny. They made it to Veteran Grenadiers just at the very end. These guys almost did. I mean, man. They're 32. Yeah, 32 XP. Well, no, hold on. 132 experience away. Wow. That's pretty great. That was an awesome campaign. Let's check it out. Victorious. Excellent. What a fine fellow with his pipe. Old Corps unlocked. Miracle of Brandenburg. Fantastic. Victorious. Glory to the Kingdom of Prussia. The war concluded in Thuringia, where the Habsburg monarchy was cast down in the decisive struggle in the Battle of Jena. Alright. End campaign. Take a look here. Campaign information. Days survived, 541. We earned $74,954. We had 5 modifiers. We inflicted 252,270 casualties. We lost 78,750. We fought 40 battles, won 40 battles, lost 0 battles. The biggest battle was Jena, 12,757. Most men in a battle, 40,772. Campaign score, 690, 186. Excellent. Army. So the end screen is a little bit different here now for this campaign, the latest update, than our previous ones. We have a lot more information here, and we can save special units to the Hall of Fame. Alright, so it has the most valuable regiments up here at the top, again, as you can see. And then here it actually has every brigade and their corresponding units. It shows their stats, and it shows, of course, their kills, losses, battles, etc. What's interesting is it says battles won and lost, and they're all zeros for the units. I don't know if that's like a bug, or I think that's a bug. I think we'll might have to report that to the armchair historian. Alright, so without further ado, let's go over this. Alright, most valued, the Manteuffel Infanterie, 2155. The highest kills, the Freigrenadier von Skony got 20,935 kills. The unit that suffered the most losses, of course, was the Manteuffel Infanterie, 5,945. The Roth Grenadier Bataillon had the highest morale at 79. Highest accuracy was the Münchau Fusilier at 113. Fastest reload was the von Schwerin, my apologies, Infanterie. I totally screwed that up. At 111 reload. That is devastating. Highest charge, not cavalry, no. Grenadiers. Once again, to the Frei Grenadier von Skony. Same guys that got the most kills have the highest charge at 126. Highest melee is actually our cuirassiers of Brandenburg, 108. All right. Now our commanders. All right. Von Dieskau, 50,644, and suffered 9,312 losses, 40 battles won. And, of course, it's reiterated the kills here in the units. Our artillery did phenomenal work here. As you can see, 50,644 kills. That is fantastic. Excellent work from our artillery. Let's go down here. Von Zieten, yes. 15,764 lost, but 55,624 killed. And our cavalry does phenomenal. Although, as you can tell, like the Frei Dragoner, they were a replacement for a unit we actually lost. This campaign, we actually lost 2 units from being shattered and destroyed. That's why they only have 5428 for kills and 1154 for losses. Just phenomenal seeing these numbers. We have some excellent units here in this army. See right here, the Frei Grenadier von Skony, 20,935. They lost 5163. That's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. Von Lewald, 52,359, 21,092 lost. Awesome. Von Anhalt-Dessau, 31,778, and lost 14,545. That was our Fusilier line. All right. Still did pretty good. They took the brunt of a lot of losses. They were our frontline units. And, of course, von Schwerin, 60,740 and 16,873 for losses. Our Infanterie did excellent job. Their reload times are insane. Absolutely insane reload. Decent accuracy. It's not too great, but still pretty good. The Fusilier has much better accuracy, but lower morale. And not too bad reload. But adding the carbines was a fun little test. That went well, I think. Let's test out the Hall of Fame feature. We're going to add the Frei Grenadier for sure. Regiment has been added to the Hall of Fame. Yes, very good. And a Manteuffel. Excellent. Let's see. Wow. That is just great. Yeah, we'll add the Fusilier. Excellent. We'll add the Cuirassier as well. They did a great job during the campaign. And the artillery. Okay, I just added one. I don't want to be funny and kind of just add every single one of them there. I think that'd be kind of funny. But that's all right. Excellent. We might can check the Hall of Fame too, just see what that looks like. Hall of Fame. Prussia. Okay. Awesome. That's kind of neat. And you can remove them too if you're like, you know what? I added some more units and they did way better than these guys. I just added the other guys first because I didn't have any and they was the best ones from that campaign. You can remove them. So, all right. Thank you all for joining me for the Cantonist Levies campaign on Master of Command. We will soon begin an Austrian campaign. Normally I kind of leave that up in the air. Ooh, which one am I going to go with next? Well, considering how we've done the subsidy troops for British Crown and Hanover, we haven't done Austria yet. For Prussia, we did the Cantonist Levies. Russian Empire, we did the Imperial Army. Kingdom of France, we did King's Household. And Holy Roman Empire, Christ Contingent. So the only one we haven't touched on is Austria. We will be doing Austria next. If Sweden is out, when we get done with Austria, we'll do Sweden. If Sweden isn't out yet, then we'll begin one of the other nations doing a second army that we haven't played yet. The idea is, on my channel, I plan to do every single army for every nation at least once. So we'll see what goes on. I just love Master of Command. So again, thank you all for joining me. God bless.